Okay, guys, we will. Hey guys, but we're going to be starting very soon. Oh, I just noticed my camera fell. So we're going to be starting very soon. So grab your water, drinks, go to the bathroom, and we'll see you in 5 minutes. Okay, we're going to kick this off in 5 minutes. Okay, welcome everybody. We're gonna have a large group. So we have people on Zoom, we have people on our YouTube channel. In the meantime, if you are tuning in from either of our channels, Zoom, we have people on the YouTube channel. I'm not going why. In the meantime, if you are tuning in from either of our channels, Zoom, we have people. Okay, we're gonna start in few minutes. We're gonna have a large group. Over 700 people did register for this training today. So we're gonna have a lot of people on Zoom and as well as YouTube. We have a lot of people joining from YouTube. In the meantime, regardless of where you tuned in today, please tell us where you're tuning in from. So let's get the chat going. I want to see where you are tuned in from. So take a moment, introduce yourself in the chat. If you, regardless of where you are watching today's training. So please take a moment, introduce. Let's see the chat going. Let me can everybody see the chat? Let me know, because I know Zoom can be funny sometimes. I have no idea why I'm blurred out. Okay, so if you can see the chat, please introduce yourself. Let's use the chat. The comments is a great way to meet new people. I always love to introduce everybody. So let's do this and let's get the chat going. Okay, so take a moment to introduce yourself, guys. Let's get the chat going. I don't see anyone writing any comments, introducing themselves. Oh, you guys are dropping in the, oh, chat is disabled. Okay, let me enable it, everyone. Chat is disabled. That's, can you guys see the chat now? Okay, Zoom is always a little tricky.
Yes, I can see it now.
Show chat preview. Yes, but still disabled for users. Okay, let me figure this out. Okay, let me try something. Okay, let me see, guys. Give me 1 second. Not sure why chat is disabled. Settings. Okay. Okay, now try. Everyone should be able to do the chat. Now, play, do not disturb. Is it still? The host has disabled. Oh my God. Okay, guys, open chat in a new window. This is interesting. Why is chat disabled? Okay, so I'm not sure, guys, why the chat is disabled. Let me try. I've been trying all my settings, but we're just gonna have to make do then. Okay, just for now, I guess. Sign in Zoom web portal. Oh, okay, thank you. I'll do that right now. Just give me 1 second. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I thought I had all this sorted out. I guess not. Okay. Thank you, Akshay. Okay. Okay, I don't think I can do anything now, guys, because I already have it live, but you know what? We'll just use the Q&A box. We'll make do with what we got. Okay, so I did try the settings. Even my camera, I don't know why it's doing team chat. Kind of the basics. I can't figure this out. We're just gonna leave it. Just drop your questions. We'll just use the Q&A. I apologize for this. I don't want to take up too much time because there's a lot of materials that I want to cover today. So let's just begin. Okay, so me share my screen. Okay, can you guys see my share screen?
No.
This is bizarre. So bizarre. Okay. There we go. Can you see, everyone can see the screen now?
Is it land 6 figures job offers?
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay. Give me guys 1 second. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us. And today's masterclass is all about land a job offer in 90 days. It's going to be all about how you can actually land 6-figure job offers in as little as 90 days. So who's excited to be here? Let me know in the comment section if you're truly excited to be here and increase your salary. So to kick off this webinar, we're going to do a 5-minute energy clearing meditation, which is going to be led by the beautiful Lulua. So let's get comfortable, turn off all distractions, get comfortable, and find a space where you can just close your eyes. You don't have to watch anything. There's no screen involved here. But I'm going to turn it over to Lulua, who is a coach with GKM Coaching. She does amazing breath work and energy meditations as well. So we're just going to take 5 minutes to just clear our energies so that we can really be present and I really want you to get the most out of today's session, the time we have today. So Lulua, take it away.
All right. Hi, everybody. It is so wonderful to have you here with us. Let's take a deep breath in and sigh it out loud. Ah. Don't be shy. You're not on sound. Your sound is muted. You're in the comfort of your own home. Another breath in. Breathe in through the nose. Big, big breath. And sigh it out. Ah. Two more breaths. and through the nose. Feel your body expanding. Drop into your seat and sigh it out through the mouth. Close your eyes. Put your hands on your belly for a moment. And just drop your breathing right into your belly. Feel your lower abdomen expand as you breathe in. And exhale and feel it contract. Keep your breathing long, smooth, and gentle. Take a few breaths at your own time. And last breath. Now keeping your eyes closed, gently, slowly bring your left hand to your heart and place your right hand on top. Imagine a golden thread connecting your heart and your mind. And as you breathe, start feeling the clarity and the coolness of the mind drop into the heart. And the joy of the heart rise into the mind. Feel your heart and your mind becoming in sync. And then bring your attention into your heart. Feel your energy drop. The static in your mind drop and dissipate. And feel your heart grow full. Imagine a spark of light in your heart. Feel it. And as you inhale, feel the spark get stronger and bigger. And as you exhale, feel that light travel to the rest of your body. Inhale, feel the light expand and grow stronger. And as you exhale, breathe it out to the rest of your body. And slowly we come back. Feel the weight of our body on the chair, wiggle our fingers and our toes. And take a deep, full breath in. And sigh it out. And open your eyes. So before I pass the ball back to Gurpreet, why meditation and why breathing? I think we live in a world where we're so in our heads so often that we think, oh, okay, like all I need is what I'm doing, my task list, the things that I tick off. And we really forget that the quality of our being is what we show up in the world with and what we create with. It is what lands us opportunities, and it is what turns away opportunities from us. It is the quality of how we show up. And the quality of how we show up is so much more than our thoughts and our mind. It exists in our entire being, how we feel, how we stand, how we breathe, and all of that is very connected to, again, our inner state. And the best way we can affect our inner state consciously is through breath and through what we call learning to focus our intent, learning to focus our mind. And meditation is a really good tool for doing that. So whenever you feel chaotic, or you feel like the world's getting too tough, or you feel this job hunt has been really long and you just, you're tired of it, you're sick of it, just give yourself the gift of 5 minutes of breathing and meditation. Because I promise you, the more you do that, the more how you show up in the world is different. And when you show up differently in your world, the results of your world are going to be drastically different. So thank you so much for taking these few minutes with me. And Gurpreet, I'm tossing the ball right back at your court.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Liliva. Such amazing meditation. I hope everybody's more relaxed and ready to absorb the information that I'm going to go over with you in this training today. And I apologize for all the technical difficulties. Hiccups do happen no matter how many times we try to show up 100% prepared. So I sincerely apologize from the bottom of my heart. So let's begin. To kick off this webinar, I have 5 simple questions that I want to ask you. They're true and false. Your answers are important to your future financial success and independence of making more money in your career. Okay, so I know the chat is disabled, so we'll just drop your answers in the Q&A section. If you're on Zoom and if you're tuning in from YouTube, then you can drop it in the chat. True or false? Your resume is the most important part of your job application. So just quickly drop those answers. So true. A strong resume is very, very important, especially to showcase how what results you can get for the hiring manager. So hiring managers and recruiters really value resumes, which showcases how you as a candidate can get them results. So it's really important to have a well-crafted resume in your job search. So I'm also going to teach you the best practice for crafting a compelling resume as well today. Okay, so true and false. You need to have extensive experience to land a 6-figure job offer. False. You don't need extensive experience. Positioning is the key. If you position yourself correctly, is more important, and I'll show you how to do that effectively today as well. True or false? You have to apply to hundreds of jobs to get high-paying offers. False. Quality trumps quantity. With the right strategy, you can target and secure interviews for high-paying jobs without mass application, so you don't have to. And I'm going to teach you that today as well. True or false? You need another degree or another certification to earn a six-figure salary. I see few of you are saying true. The correct answer is false. Additional degrees are not necessary. I'll teach you how to leverage your current skills and experience to land your next six-figure job offer. True or false? All job opportunities are advertised, posted online. False. In reality, 80% of jobs are part of the hidden job market. 80% of all available jobs are not posted, only 20% are posted. I'll show you how to access these hidden opportunities. Okay, so on this webinar, you will discover how to land six-figure job offers in 90 days in the 2 hours or less. That's automatically attracting employers to come to you and start landing your six-figure job offers. My promise to you today is I'm going to give you the easy path to financial success by landing six-figure job offers, with the hope that it excites you so much you'll invest in what I have to offer at the end of the webinar today. And if that's the case, I have a special deal for the early action takers today. So stay till the end. I also have a special guest coming in. So a couple of guests coming in as well. So you do want to stay till the end today. So what is a six-figure job? A six-figure job is basically one that pays you 100K or more. So it can be 100K, 120, 110, 150K. So in the 6 digits, anything with 6 digits, it's considered a six-figure job. What percentage of Americans make 6 figures or more per year? So research shows that only 9% of Americans are actually making 6 figures, 100K or more. Now, how many percentage of Canadians are actually making 6 figures or more per year? Current research shows that only 11% of Canadians are making more than 100K a year. Now, if you look at everything, this is actually a really low number, given the rise of the cost of living, the inflation rates, interest rates have gone up, right? So cost of living is becoming increasingly difficult to live off anything less than 100K. When you hear the word six-figure jobs, what emotions come up for you? Let me know in the chat, let me know in the comments, something I really want you to think about. When you hear, hey, you can land a six-figure job, what emotions come up? So the feelings of, inability to do this, I don't have enough experience, I'm not fully qualified, I need more training, I need more experience, I need to have the right connections. So a lot of what we call this is limiting beliefs. You have a lot of emotions that are tied with our belief systems come up for many. When I tell people they can land a six-figure, a lot of these emotions do come up. So I can't just swoop in and ask or apply for six-figure positions. I've heard this a lot. And what I say to that is you already have what it takes to land your next six-figure job. And you just don't realize it. just like my clients have. You know, when I started working with them, they also had the same limiting beliefs of, I don't think I can land a job that pays me this much, probably maybe 10% increase in my salary or 20%. But if you can see all these, my clients have increased their salaries anywhere from 40K to even nearly 100K in working with me. So these are some of the results that you're going to get today as well. Okay, so I'm going to share with you my proven six-figure job offer method that's going to help you increase your salary by nearly 40K to 100K in the next 90 days. Okay, so until today, only C-level executives have been using this method. Believe it or not, the C-level executives, their total comp together with their base salary is nearly millions, like million plus. And they make up about the 1% earners in the market. So some of the C-levels that you might know already, I just want to give you a snippet of look at their age and what they're making. So Sundar, who's the CEO of Google, he's making $2 million in base salary. His total composition for last year was $226 million. That covers like base salary plus bonuses, cash bonuses, profit sharing, stock options, and so on. Okay, so these are the key. Oh, I just realized I forgot their names in there. So also Noor, she's used to be a Pepsi CEO, and she was making 1.9 million base salary, and her total comp was 2.5 million. And same with Andy, who is the CEO of Amazon. 365 was his base salary, with his total comp last year worked out to be $1.36 million. And all of them got, and compared to the employees working at these companies, they're making like 10 times what an average employee is making at these companies. But here's the kicker. They didn't apply to countless jobs like you are. They were approached directly. They didn't ask for what is your budget. They didn't ask for what's the market rate. Instead, they commanded money based on problem they solve, solutions they implement, and results they can deliver. And so can you. So I'm not going to promise you today that you're going to make $1 million in composition in 90 days. That's not realistic. But what I can promise you is that you're going to definitely increase your salary. But we got to correct where you are today. Many of you are underpaid for the problems you solve, for the solutions you implement, and the results you deliver. So I want you to do a clear check with yourself. Can you honestly say that you are truly being paid for the results that you deliver? So how do we do this? So the first step is you need to identify what you're an expert in. This is the first place to start if you want to increase your salary, if you want to land six-figure job offers. We need to identify what you are an expert in. So my formula that I use with my clients is PCSR formula. This is where we always start. So those results I was showing you, how my clients increased their salaries by 40K, 100K in just 90 days. This is how. P stands for problem, C stands for cost, S stands for solution, and R stands for results, and then B is for benefit. Now, problem. What you want to do is you want to diagnose your entire career with this formula. You want to identify the problems you've solved in each of the roles you've been in. For each problem, you want to identify what was it costing the company to have the problem. Third step is solution. What solution did you implement to solve the problem? 4 is results. Once you solve the problem, what was the outcome? What was the results? Now, if you really want to make more money, we have to do B, which is benefit. We have to tie it back to the company. How did the company benefited from you solving the problem? From you implementing the solution, you getting the results. Now, benefits has to be tied back to the bottom line of the business. And bottom line of every business is they're in the business to make money. Businesses are in the business to make profits. So we have to tie it back to benefit. Next step is we got to put a dollar value on you. If you can solve $1 million problem, then what should you be asking for in salary? Now, your value, your dollar value isn't tied back to what pay scale is going to say or what Glassdoor is saying. It's not tied back to what the market is saying. It's not the market value. The reason I'm highlighting this is because pay scale, Glassdoor, salary calculators online, the salary guides, the market rate, they are only looking at 3 things. Number of years experience you have, your skills you have, and the credentials you have. But they're not taking into account the type of problems you can solve. The more complex problems you can solve, the more money you can ask for. It's not taking into consideration the results you can get for companies. It's also not taking into consideration how the company benefits from hiring you, the ROI the company gets. So it's really important that we put a correct dollar value on you. And this is the most crucial step. That's second step. And this is what helps my clients make more money, and it's going to help you make more money. Also, if you remember earlier, I went over the executives, how much money the C-level executives, including the VPs of companies, make. They never once worry about the company's budget. Your value, your dollar value, the salary you need to ask for has nothing to do with the market, what condition the current economics market is. It's not about layoffs. It's not about if companies done layoffs. And guess what? The C-level executives, the VPs of every Fortune 500 company out there, like Google, Amazon, IBM, I can show you all the research I've done, and I can show you, if you would open Google right now and just Google IBM, IBM CEO, Google CEO, Apple CEO, you'll be shocked at how much money they're getting paid. Okay, like Tim Cook's, who's an Apple CEO, his total composition is total comp is 63.2 million. His base salary alone is 3 million. So total comp makes up also, he gets profit sharing. IBM CEO, Arvind Krishna, he got a 23% increase last year. While the whole world was doing layoffs, including IBM, the CEO salary increased by 23%. The reason I'm sharing this with you is because last 6 months, I've spoken to so many individuals through my LinkedIn audio rooms, countlessly. And everyone always tell me, well, I have to ask based on the market conditions. I have to ask based on the market. I can't ask because, oh, look, there was tech layoffs. But guess what? All these CEOs, the executives in these companies are getting massive increases, massive bonuses. So it's important that you too start to think like an executive. And that's why it's important that we start to identify the results you can get. Step 3 in making more money in your career, if you want to land those high-paying salary jobs, those six-figure salary jobs, the positioning. You have to position yourself as an expert who solves X problem. So we have to figure out what's that X problem that you solve. So this goes back to this slide. This formula is going to help you identify what you're actually an expert in. So we have to diagnose your entire career to find that piece out. Once we've done the first 3 steps, now we can craft our resumes and our LinkedIn profiles and our cover letter. These are your marketing materials, the most crucial step. But we can't do this if you haven't done the first 3 steps. This is where, from the 20 years that I've been in HR and the 20 years I've been coaching people in making more money in their careers, this is where everyone goes wrong. Everyone first just starts to make their cover letters and their resumes and LinkedIn profiles, but they haven't done the first 3 steps. Once you know what you're an expert in, once you know the results you can get for companies, the type of problems you are an expert in solving, you know what your dollar value is, then we can craft a 6-figure looking resume, a 6-figure LinkedIn profile. So I'm going to, who wants to see what a 6-figure resume looks like? So a 6-figure resume, here's a sample of one I wrote for my client. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, I'm going to zoom in to make it bigger. So a 6-figure resume first clearly states the expertise. We have a hook because you have 5 seconds to grab the reader's attention. Also, let me take a step back. When you apply to jobs online, your resume also has to be ATS friendly. So this entire resume is ATS format, is ATS friendly. So it gets past the ATS. So also, when it gets past the ATS, it's going to land in front of a reader. Now, when it lands in front of a reader, we got 5 seconds to hook them. And that's why we have this opening statement that clearly states that I'm an SVP and I build high-performing sales team by boosting revenues by 130 plus million annually. Captures the reader's attention right away. Get into your value proposition statement. This section is the value proposition statement. Then we get into the skills section. Again, if you notice, there's a lot of numbers and figures in this resume. Skills section you need. And then we also have hooks for each, under each position, there's a hook to capture the reader, because it's really important that your resume does few things. Your resume has to capture the reader's attention. You have 5 seconds to grab that. You also have to, once you grab someone's attention, you have to keep the attention. Once you keep someone's attention, you have to now take them on an emotional journey. This is where the art of, copywriting kicks in. Copywriting means that you're really good with language and words that resonates to the reader. Number 2 thing is we got to evoke emotions. When someone looks at this resume, emotions needs to be evoked. The emotions that we want to evoke in a reader is, oh my God, this is the most amazing candidate. Oh my God, this is the candidate I've been looking for. Then the other emotion that we want the reader to go through when they're reading our resume is, oh my God, if I don't contact this candidate, I'm going to lose them. So FOMO, fear of missing out. Human beings make decisions emotionally. We all emotionally make decisions. Then we step into logic. But first, emotions kicks in. And the person that's reading your resume is no different than any other human being. So this is psychology. The minute you start to understand psychology, how it plays into recruitment process, you're always going to land into use. So it's really important the words we use to craft our resumes, the words we're using on how to deliver our message. And also we have to invoke emotions. An expert one time in marketing, I forget the individual's name, said that marketing works when you can hit the 5 senses of a human being. And same thing with resume. If you can capture 5 senses, the more 5 senses of a human being you can capture, the more likely the reader is going to engage with what they're reading and they're going to take action. The chances just went up. Many of you on this webinar today are missing this most crucial step in resume. Many don't know how to write a resume. And without a resume, you're not going to land interviews. So these are the important steps in resume writing. Now I'm going to show you before and after of a LinkedIn of my client. Now, though this image is saying before, this truly isn't before she started working with me. These are actually some of the changes she made as she was working with me. But prior to this, she had a different LinkedIn picture, and then which wasn't good, and then she had no banner. Okay, working with me in my coaching program, she was able to craft this, but let me show you what I did next. So this is what we did next. This was what she was able to achieve on her own through following the teachings of LinkedIn that I teach. And then she was able to do this. I designed the banner for her, craft her message, and created her signature look. Now this puts her at 6-figure candidate, and she's actually being chased by recruiters right as we speak. Recruiters are reaching out to her, and she has over 2 years gap. She went on mat leave, and then she decided to take extra leave to raise her child. So she's been out of work for 2.5 years. And she was struggling just like you to land interviews. Working with me now, she's actually being chased by recruiters left, right, and center. And this is what branding and positioning is so important if you want to make more money in your career. Resume alone is not going to help you land those high-paying salary jobs. Many of you are super talented in what you do. Super, super talented. You get amazing results, but you don't know how to communicate that. You don't know how to put that in writing. You don't know how to see it in your resume. You don't know how to see it in your LinkedIn profiles either. Once we have our marketing pieces, then the 5th step is we can now start our job search. In order to be successful in our job search, we have to understand what makes up a job market. Current research shows that today's job market consists of the following. 10% of all available jobs are with recruitment agencies. Now, I have a lot of friends in recruitment agencies, and they've all shared with me they don't post all their jobs. One of my friends actually recruits for IBM, Accenture, Deloitte, Microsoft, and he said 50% of the roles he's working on, he hasn't advertised or posted them. The key to working with recruiters is also that we don't need to chase recruiters. What we want to do is what I do for my clients. We get the recruiters to chase you. And we want to leverage LinkedIn to do this. Okay. Now, so what you want to do is we want to get the recruiters to chase us. And this is where LinkedIn is so important that comes into play. If I want everyone to open their LinkedIn profiles, and I want you to go to your, let me stop sharing so I can show you what let me show you exactly what I want you to do. So open your LinkedIn profiles. Okay, I'm going to share my screen to make navigation easy. And what I want you to do is, I want you to go to your LinkedIn profile, and then I want you to scroll to your analytics. By the way, this is private to you. And what I want you to do is look at the far right number, your search appearance number. So if you can drop it in the chat, type in what's that number for you. So the key here is your LinkedIn profile needs to be SEO friendly, means search engine optimized. Meaning you got to start appearing in searches for recruiters to find you. Recruiters, 90% of recruiters are actually using LinkedIn Talent Solution right here. If you can see, its promotion just came up. They're using this LinkedIn paid solution. So companies have invested money and they are using the system. It's why a lot of companies don't post their job, because they're going to use LinkedIn Talent Solutions to find the candidates that they're looking for and approach them directly. Because it's actually more efficient use of time. It's actually the best way to recruit. How do I know this? Because I do recruitment and I have 20 years of recruitment experience. I too use LinkedIn to find candidates versus posting a job. It's a lot of work to post a job and collect resumes and screen all incoming resumes. It's actually faster to go approach the candidates you're looking for directly by leveraging LinkedIn Talent Solutions. So it's a paid service. And how you want to read these analytics is that you want to stack this number against the job titles you're found for. Some of you may not be able to see this. I don't know why. It's not about if you're paid user or not. Some people can see this, some people can't see it. But regardless, if you can see it or not, if you can see it, then you're going to get a good idea of what job titles you were found for. If you're not being found for what you want, we need to really work on your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is the #1 platform available to you right now that can help you land so many interviews and so many job opportunities. The entire platform stands for, their entire mission is to connect you to opportunities. It's the most powerful system that's available for free that can help you not only land your next job opportunity. By the way, every 3 minutes, someone's getting hired on LinkedIn. Every 3 minutes, someone's landing an opportunity through LinkedIn. That's their numbers right now. If you're not leveraging LinkedIn correctly, not only are you leaving money at the table, you're leaving a lot of opportunities on the table. So you really need to work on your LinkedIn profile. This number means nothing if people are not reaching out to you. It could be either your LinkedIn profile, someone's reaching out to you directly, it can also be your email. So I have both. Every day, people are reaching out to me and I'm constantly landing opportunities. I've also landed a lot of media opportunities. Been featured on a lot of medias through LinkedIn. CBS News, CBC News, Wall Street Journal, the Globe and Mail, landed a 6-month radio gig through LinkedIn. I've won awards. People have nominated me through LinkedIn. I've been invited on many podcasts. I've been invited to be a guest speaker on conferences. I've also been invited by other institutes like universities and colleges to come teach. And guess what all that does? This is the power of personal branding. The minute you can put all this stuff up, your brand is just elevated and you can start charging more money. I used to charge $30 an hour to $50 an hour. And the minute I started focusing on my brand and my LinkedIn, today I charge $500 an hour US. And so do my clients. And so can you. That's the power we have today. And that's what the power of personal branding, the executives used to use and continues to use. That's why, you know, those executives that I was talking about, like Amazon, IBM, Google, Microsoft, they're no special. What my point is, you have everything that they have too. The biggest difference is that they focused on building a name for themselves in the industry they work for. Like Tim Cook, for example, who is the current CEO of Apple, he was actually in 1998 approached directly by Steve Jobs to come work for him as the VP. He started from ground up. Manufacturing floor, took care of everything. And then he moved up. He didn't move up to CEO until Steve Jobs resigned in 2011. Then he got the CEO role. But he got approached, and all the CEOs of all the C-level executives, including VPs, they all get approached. So all jobs are not advertised, especially the six-figure jobs. They're barely advertised. You're never going to see them advertised. So if you really want to make more money in your career, you need to stop relying on job postings to find your jobs. And you need to double down on the power of LinkedIn, which is going to give you 10x more than any platform out there. And your analytics of who's viewed your profile. So it's not about how high your number is. A lot of people ask me this question, what should the number be? The number, it's not about what the numbers are and what the number needs to be. It's all about how many people are contacting you. Earlier, I was showing you my client's profile who has 2.5 years gap and is landing interviews through jobs. She hasn't applied to any jobs. She just worked on a LinkedIn profile and boom, she started landing, recruiters are chasing her. And so this can happen to you overnight. Now, I'm going to give you guys a bonus today. I'm going to tell you quickly how you can actually start appearing in searches. This is why I have my LinkedIn open. I'm going to give you a quick thing you can do right this moment that overnight is going to start increasing the reach. Recruiters are going to start reaching out to you overnight. If you do this correctly with me. So you're going to go to your LinkedIn profile. Okay, I'm going to give you 3 things you need to do this very moment. Number 1, we need to make your LinkedIn profile SEO. And that's the entire focus of this quick win that I'm going to give you. This is a quick win, okay? This is not the biggest win, but it's a quick win so that you can start to see some action overnight. Click on this pencil. Hope you have your LinkedIn profiles open with you. And what you want to do is this headline. No, do not, if you have the premium, please do not use AI to do this. It's garbage. Okay. What you want to do here is you want to maximize, I think it's 200, 300 characters that you can use here. Look out the character count. But what you want to do is this is where we want to start leveraging keywords. So SEO, search engine optimization, just means keywords. People use keywords to find, search for things on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's actually a search engine, by the way. Everybody comes on, and that's why you see, for example, this is why we have the search bar here. Okay, so companies use this tool, and then the LinkedIn talent tool is the same way. Okay, so you click on this pencil, and what we want to do is the simple formula that I'm going to give you today that you can easily implement this very moment is you want to start writing the subject matter expertise you have. But you also want to do it in a way that's targeting the role you want next. And you want to maximize this. Don't copy what I have. Mine's an advanced formula. I'm not going to give you the advanced formula right now because you won't be able to do it. But a quick win is, I want to share some quick wins with you. So let's everybody do this. Here's where the format to follow here is subject matter expertise that you want to enter here. Okay. Now you want to go to the About section and you want to list the top 5 skills. Okay. Oops. So click on here. I don't want you to do anything other than write the top 3 skills, the top 5 skills here. This is how the quickest way to make it SEO friendly. Then scroll down to your experience section. And for every job, I want you to write top 5 skills you have. You can do more here, but they recommend 5. So I want you to do this 5 skills for each job. Next is your skills section. Make sure, one, you reorganize this. Now there's no limit. Before there was a limit of 50 skills. Now there's no limit of 50 skills. So what you want to do is make sure you list your top 10 skills first. And the next thing we want to do is, so there's 2 steps here. First step is make sure that you can reorganize your skills. So click on the plus sign is to add skills. And if you click on the pencil, you'll be able to, it takes you to the next window. Click on the 3 dots, you can reorder. The reason you want to reorder your skills is and list the top 10 skills first, because it makes someone's life easy for the next step. The next most crucial step to start ranking higher and appear higher in the searches. The goal is that you want to appear in someone's search, but you also want to appear on the first page to second page of the search engine when someone's searching on LinkedIn. And the best way to do that is these skills. And the biggest way is to get people to endorse you. So the best thing you could do right now is, well, there are over 50 people on this webinar. And there's also, I don't know how many people are joined from Zoom. If everybody started to do this for each other today, you can easily have 50, 60 people endorsing you in less than 24 hours. So drop your LinkedIn profiles and start endorsing each other. That's the benefit of being in the group. So that's the quickest way right this moment you can start seeing some action on your LinkedIn. Now, you can appear in searches, your profile views can go up, but if no one's reaching out to you for job opportunities, it's still not going to work for you. So LinkedIn is really important component that we really work full on with LinkedIn for my banners, our pictures, our headlines. Now, I'm named top 15 LinkedIn experts, and also I'm a top voice for job search on LinkedIn. And I can tell you one of the biggest thing, the quick win that I shared you is not going to be enough. But I want you to give you a quick win. Why? Because when you start to see some action, it motivates you to keep going. But we need to get more out of LinkedIn, and we need to have a full-on LinkedIn. But so that's LinkedIn piece, okay? Okay, let's move on to the next component. Okay, 20% of all available jobs are not posted. Sorry, 20% of jobs are posted. I said this opposite. 20% of jobs are available through job postings. Now, here's the 3 steps you have to do in order to land interviews from job postings. Number 1, your resume has to be ATS friendly. Means your resume has to pass the ATS and land in front of a human being. Step 2, your resume also has to grab attention. You have less than 5 seconds to grab a reader's attention. When you're applying to jobs online, companies are using ATS. But here's the other thing now. In the mix is AI. Companies are starting to adopt AI in recruitment as well. So things are getting harder and harder when you're applying to jobs online. You also have high volume of competition. You're competing with hundreds to even thousands of applicants for the same job. Your chances of landing an interview from a single job posting is less than 3%. You have to be the top 10 candidate to land interview through job postings. Competition so high. This is why resume is so important. It's not just good enough to have a pretty looking resume, a good presentation, but the language, the words, and the crafting of the language and how you write and how you communicating is the most powerful thing on your resume. But 99% of career professionals don't know how to do this. It's why you're struggling to land those job interviews. So the odds are already against you when you're applying to jobs online. I just want to share how you can win on when you're applying to jobs online. So resume is going to be really crucial when you apply to jobs online because you got to get them to want to interview you. Okay, so I covered that piece when I showed you how your resume needs to look like, right? But this can only happen once you've done a lot of legwork in the beginning. That I cover those steps. 70% of all available jobs, especially six-figure jobs, are not posted. They're not advertised. We call this the hidden job market. I'm going to share a quick, dirty way to access the hidden job market and land interviews. Okay. So the quickest way you can land interviews this very moment, by the way, it's not through networking, believe it or not. It's not through reaching out to endless people who work at the companies you want to work for and ask for informational interviews. It's not by asking for coffee chats. The reason I'm saying this doesn't work in today's market is because everyone's doing this and no one's getting a response. You can reach out to 100 people and maybe 10 people might, if you're lucky, will respond back to you. And out of those 10, maybe 2 people will say yes to doing informational interviews and you won't even land an interview. Or you may land just an interview with HR, but then nothing happens. The fastest way to land interviews, and that's going to also increase your salary, is this is my quick and dirty strategy. I hope you're taking notes because this one is going to be a game changer. And this is exactly what executives do too. And that's why they get paid the big bucks. So if you want to increase your salary, this is what you got to do. First thing is you want to research the company to find out what is the current problems and challenges they are facing this very moment. You can't approach someone by saying, hey, I want to interview you. The reason why a lot of people are failing in networking today is the approach is simply asking me. I want to interview you. I want to know your career, but we got podcasts. So you can go to podcasts and listen to all the informational interviews. That's what podcasts are. Informational interviews. But this strategy will land you interviews. Actually, it will get you in front of the right person. So step 1 is you want to identify the problem. So this is where you have to do a deep dive. This is where you have to do a deep dive research on the company. And it's not their company website. No company's website is going to advertise the problems they have. This is where you got to be a little bit of a detective and find the information. And guess what? It's there. All the information is on the wild web. You just have to know how to find it. This is where the research skills come in handy. Next step is you also want to know who their competitors are. You also want to stack them against their competition. This is where I recommend you using SWOT analysis. SWOT. S stands for strength, W stands for weakness, O stands for opportunity, and T stands for threat. This will give you a deeper understanding of the company, their competition, and their position in the market. Because nobody likes to lose out to competition. Every company is in the business to make profits. Remember that. Every business is in the business to make profits. So in order for you to make more money and start landing those high-paying salary jobs, you got to speak the business language. And this, what I'm teaching you today, is helping you do that. Last step is, once you know their problem, their challenges they're facing, you know who their competition is, you've done a deeper dive on the competition, then we want to come up with solutions to the problem. Okay. Now, once you've done the heavy lifting research, you've done all this work, next step is we want to identify who is the decision maker. Don't waste your time with recruiters in HR, because we are not decision makers. I'm telling you, I work in recruitment, I work in HR. I'm not the decision maker unless I'm hiring somebody for my team. Only then am I a decision maker. So what you want to do is you want to reach out to the one that has all the powers in hiring, the hiring manager. This is where we can leverage LinkedIn. There are a couple other tools that we can leverage to find out what their email is and reach out to the emails. But the problem with that is that, well, there's two things you always have to do. Okay. So we do want to leverage LinkedIn, and we do also want to leverage their email address and reach out to them directly. Now, the importance is what we write in that message. The message is the key here. And this is where the art of copywriting really kicks in now. The messaging, if we're going to email somebody, the most important piece, first important piece is the subject headline. And I know copywriting, I've learned from the best of the best in this business. And it's all, when it comes to emails, it's the subject line that gets people to click to open. What's happened in the last 4 years, thanks to COVID pandemic, is that because the whole world shut down and we were online, our brains became trained to filter out spam messages because we're constantly online from 2020. So in the last 4 years, in the last year, from 2020 to 2021, our brains advancedly developed, and without you knowing, your brain already knows how to actually identify a spam message. This is why the conversion rates are lower for when you're reaching out to people nowadays. When you're reaching out to people, even through DMs or emails, what used to work before 2020 is not working anymore. The whole world has changed. We've gone through a lot of changes. That's why it's really important that we learn how to job search in today's market for success. So the key is the subject line, and then what we write in the body. You have to have a hook in the body message. You have to have a hook to capture their attention. Once you capture the attention, we want to hit them with the problem. We don't talk about ourselves. You never get someone's attention by talking about yourself. So just remove that. I want you to write this down. If you want to grab someone's attention, don't talk about yourself. You're not going to grab someone's attention in today's world. The reason why you're not going to grab anyone's attention in today's world by talking about yourself, because our attention span is so short, thanks to these gadgets. We're constantly distracted. That's why elevator pitches are dead. This is why elevator pitches don't work either. Elevator pitches worked when we didn't have smartphones. Nowadays, look around you. When you go for, next time you're out and about, look around you and notice how many people are consumed by this device, the phone, smartphone. So it's getting harder to grab people's attention. That's why we gotta, everything you know about job search, throw it out, delete it. It doesn't work in today's world. So messaging, hook, the key body is you gotta hit them. So there's gotta be a hook. Number 2 is pain, go in with the pain. Number 3 is you didn't want to identify that you're an expert in solving this problem because you've done it for, just only drop one company name you've done this for and what was the result, and then invite them to do a 20-minute call with you. call this the quick and dirty, but it is lengthy. So quick way to land an interview, but you don't do this for all the companies. You just pick the top 5 companies, your absolute dream companies, and do this for even 10 companies, and you do it for. In the consulting world, I run my own business, we call this a discovery call. So you invite them to hop on a call. So this is a discovery call strategies method, but it always gets the person's attention. It always gets them to respond back, and 9 out of 10, you're going to get them on the call. Once you got them on the call, is really important what we do on those calls. Okay, so this is a quick way to land interviews. Acing job interviews is the most crucial component of success to landing job offers. So step 1 is to land interviews. Okay, we got to land interviews. Next step is we got to clear the interviews. And then third is we got to close the interviews. We got to convert and land job offers. Now this component is a lot of the components I'm going through a little quickly, but there's a lot of stuff that I can't cover in 1 hour of today's segment. So acing job interviews is really important. First impressions matter. So this is your image, your dress, how you look, your icebreaking, what you're saying in the minute you get on the call, or when you're in front of somebody. So head to toe matters. What comes out of your mouth matters. My clients, when I do mock interview sessions with them, they get a whole 360 viewpoint, and they thought they were really good in interviews. A lot of people think they're really good in interviews until they do a mock interview session with me. The reason why a lot of people think they're good in interviews is because no one's told you that you're bad in interviews. And the reason no one's told you this is because no one's really giving you feedback. Companies can't give you feedback on your interviews. When I'm interviewing candidates, I can't give them feedback on their interviews. But as a coach, I can. And I can tell you a lot of people, if you're struggling to land interviews, you're also going to struggle to clear interviews. Some people can easily land interviews, but they can't close the interviews. So first impression matters. How you answer the interview questions really matter. A lot of times, 20 years that I've been doing interviews, I can tell you how many times candidates have not answered the question. In your head, it sounds like you answered the question, but someone who's receiving that answer, I can tell you didn't answer it. And the last step is the most crucial component, is closing the interviews. You got to be a closer. A lot of people can land interviews, they can even clear interviews, but they can never land the job offer. And you get that cliche answer with the other candidate, we went with the other candidate, right? You can, but it's really important that we close those interviews. Okay, so I can't cover everything, but in this 1 hour, I hope you've learned something today. Would you agree that this was an hour well spent today learning everything we've covered thus far on the webinar? Sadly, I can't cover everything you need to know in 1 hour in one webinar. Even if we had a whole day today, I still couldn't cover everything you need to know step by step to do to win in your job search, to land 6-figure job offers. When I work with my clients just to do resume, it takes anywhere a week to 2 weeks just to nail the resume piece. Okay, so that's why I'm excited to be able to make this offer to you, where you can get everything you need to know. And if you act in a certain quickly amount of time, you can actually get an incredible special deal today from me. Okay, so I have a question for everybody. If we parted ways today, would you be able to immediately go out and start landing interviews, those 6-figure interviews? With the newfound information you just discovered in the last hour? Chances are no, doubtfully. I probably know you better than you know yourself. The problem is habits. right? Habits are the hard to change. That's why you've been struggling to land higher paying salary jobs, to land interviews for 6 figures, to increase your salary more than just 10%. Suppose we ended the webinar right now and parted ways. Would you agree with me? It's highly doubtful that you could immediately change your habits and behavior needed to achieve the 6-figure offer, to land that 6-figure job offer. Increase your salary in 90 days by 40K to 100K, more than just 10% and 20%. In fact, you probably are already aware of how easy it is to fall back into your old habits, but I'm not going to let that happen. Here's the thing, you can't just rely on information. Information isn't enough to land those offers today. Resume alone is not enough to land you job offers. Even just making those tweaks I told you in your LinkedIn is not going to be enough if you want to really land a 6-figure job offer. You can't just rely on another guide, another YouTube video, another template. You need more. You need more tools. You need tools. You need accountability. You need coaching. You need me in your ear for the next 90 days if you're going to make true lasting change. If you don't change your habits or the action you've been taking, you're not going to make more money in your career, right? You're not going to land that 6-figure job offer. And I know you're struggling, right? I've seen you guys all struggle. I've seen you become frustrated at the lack of your success. I've seen you work hard day and night with tweaking your resumes, endlessly attending LinkedIn audios, YouTube videos, searching online and tweaking your resumes. I've heard all the time, I've done this, but still I can't land a job. I still can't land interviews. That is why you'll be thrilled with what I put together for you today. It's my pleasure to introduce So I want to introduce my program to you, which is called 6-Figure Job Offers. It's a 90 days group coaching program. There's the link that you can sign up. Okay, so here's what the key deliverables you're going to get in this program. 6-figure career diagnostics. We're going to do a 360-degree analysis of your entire career to identify what you are an expert in. What are your strengths? What's your zone of genius? What have you mastered in your career? What are you exceptionally great at doing? Okay, total value of that's $3,000. 6-figure expertise valuation. Once we've diagnosed your entire career with my help, this is what I'm an expert in doing. Then what we're going to do is identify what you're an expert in. So we're going to pinpoint that. And then we're going to really clearly define that, what that looks like, and your blueprint of it. We all have our own unique blueprints on how we solve problems. 6-figure salary dollar valuation. We're going to then take everything and then put a dollar value on you. That's way more than just the market rate, what pay scale is saying. Then we're going to move into 6-figure personal branding positioning strategy. This is why I was saying to you, in 1 hour is not enough, and the whole day wouldn't be enough to get you the results you need. We do have to spend 90 days or less. Like my clients have achieved all this even in 60 days, okay? So we're 6-figure brand positioning that's going to be powerfully going to get you to stand out of the crowd. I just show you some key examples today for my clients. We're going to craft a 6-figure resume that converts into interviews. We're going to have a 6-figure cover letter that gets any hiring manager's attention to want to call you for an interview. 6-figure LinkedIn profile that's going to be fully optimized to get you chasing by recruiters to land you any opportunities. 6-figure job search strategies. This is the most crucial component to your success. Without strategies, you're not going to be successful. It's one thing to get the information, but you need to know how to execute for you. So we're going to customize that for you. It's going to be tweaked to you, customized to your goals. 6-figure job interview prep method. My prep method has helped people clear interviews. It's really important on how we ace those interviews, but the prep work that goes into it. I have 20 years of experience doing this, guys. 6-figure job interview answers. Being somebody who does interviews, and I've been doing them for 20 years, as HR, I'm the one that's and you have to answer to when I call you for an interviews. I can tell you exactly how to answer those interview questions. That boom right away gets them to want to hire you. 6-figure interview signature look. You have to have a 6-figure signature interview look. Your outfit, your hair, your grooming, your makeup for females, your entire look. You have to craft your signature look. 6-figure interview closing strategy. This will convert interviews into job offers, 6 figures. 6-figure job offer negotiation strategy. Again, I work in HR for 20 years. I have access to closed door private conversations that you don't. I have helped my clients never take a low paying salary job because I can see the game that you can't see. Why? Because I work in HR. I know those private door conversations. Companies are getting you at, oh, you know, we don't have the budget, or hey, it's recession, you know, all that stuff. I know exactly what they're doing. Okay, plus 12 weeks coaching calls with me on a Zoom. And that is $15,000 value. So I put the value, but the total value of this entire package that you're getting today is $62,000. But that's not what you're going to pay. So my offer to you is really special. I normally charge the real price of the coaching program is $7,500, but today you're getting an offer for $5,500. So you can pay one-time payment of $5,500, and so you're saving $2,000, or you can do a payment plan for $1,375. We're going to split it over 4 months. You have 48 hours to grab this special price before you, I'm going to give you the link. There's the link to grab that. Okay, so now let's make this investment even more amazing. I'm going to offer you bonuses. Okay, so as you can see, I have some great bonuses to give you today. Unfortunately, we will not be able to give them to every single person. So the people who sign up in the next 48 hours are going to get this. So the way it works is the faster you sign up, the more bonuses you're going to get. If you're one of the first 25 people to sign up, you're going to get all of these bonuses. Here's the bonuses. These bonuses are in total valued for $90K, but you're getting them for free. I'm going to throw in a training that's designed by a recruiter inside recruiter's mind. It's really important to understand how recruiters think. There's a master class that my friend recruiter put together and put the playbook together. So not only are you going to get a training, you're also going to get the handbook playbook on how to work with recruiters. Number 2 bonus, you're going to get training on how to beat the ATS and land interviews every single time. Number 3 bonus, done for you LinkedIn banners. These are professionally designed graphic LinkedIn banners. They're done for you to take and tweak. All you have to do is swipe up a couple of information, and now work done. Everything is done for you. Those banners I showed you earlier was just an example of it. AI powered job search training. AI is so important in today's world. the world we live in. This is going to speed up your job search results, the work we're going to do 10 times. I got an AI expert. My friend is an AI expert who's designed this training. You're also going to get ChatGPT prompts and scripts. My clients who are working with me, when they saw the ChatGPT training and just the scripts, the prompts, they were like, just the prompt alone, that one prompt I shown them, they all said, oh, wow, this one script and the prompt alone are just worth $2,000. You're going to get my training on how to access the hidden job market. I teach you 15 to 20 proven strategies to access the hidden job market. I'm known as the queen of hidden job market. That's the name people give me for the last 5 years. Why? Because I'm the only person that's teaching people how to access the hidden job market successfully without networking, without informational coffee chats. 99% of people online are just teaching you the very basic thing, which doesn't even work in the world we live in today. Bonus number 7, mock interview sessions. I'm going to do mock interview sessions with you. You're going to get that as a bonus as well. Resume reviews. I'm going to review your resumes and we're going to give you feedback and rewrite it. As well as LinkedIn profile reviews. I'm throwing that as a bonus as well. Roundtable with recruiters and TAs. I'm actually organizing a roundtable with top recruiters who recruit for top global companies like IBM, Microsoft, Deloitte, Accenture, and so on. I'm putting a whole panel together. You're going to get access to that as well. You're going to get access to my connections. I have over 30,000 connections on LinkedIn, but my reach, I have over 65,000 followers. My reach alone on LinkedIn is over 1 million. Actually, it's 3 million. You're going to get access to that as well. You're going to get access to industry-led leaders as well. All this you're going to get in the bonus for free if you sign up today. So the bad news is not everyone will get the special 5,500 price. Only the first 20 people that sign up. Like Jay signed up. I have people messaging me. Mindy signed up. Cindy signed up. Roy signed up. Rahul signed up. Akshay signed up. So if you act fast now, you're going to get these bonuses and the 12 weeks coaching program, which is 90 days. Today, you're saving $2,000 by getting it for $5,500. So grab it now. The link is dropped in the chat. Okay. With everything I have for you today, including the bonuses, you can see why we think it's a good deal to offer you at a special price today. At least that's what most people would offer, the special deal like this. And let me tell you, you'll still be getting the bargain end of it. So decided to make this offer for $5,500 instead of giving it to you for $75, the original price. But if you act fast, you can grab it today and save additional $2,000 by grabbing this for $5,500 today. Okay, now I see a lot of people asking about guarantees. What's the success rate of the program? Your investment is twice protected. Here's what I'm going to do for you. I like to claim that you risk nothing today because of all the special unconditional guarantee, but that wouldn't be entirely accurate, right? So here's what I'm going to do. Money back guaranteed for any reason or not at all. If you join the program and then within 14 days, you don't want to be in the program, no questions asked, money given, refund full on. If you don't land 3 interviews and then if you join the program within the 90 days, I will happily refund your money back. Or I will work with you until you land that job. So there's 3 offers available on the table. If you sign up today, this is the guarantee I'm giving you. And the best way to get to the next level is have someone who is already there reach down, grab you by the hand. Here's the thing. If you could have done it by yourself, you would have already done it. So today you're faced with one of two decisions to make today. The first decision is to do nothing, not take the leap of faith, and not put your investment into this group program, which is 100% risk-free, and instead settle for what you have now and continue to get what you've always gotten. Low-paying salary jobs, shitty companies, not treating you like VIPs, right? If you're cool with that, let me ask you, how's that been working out for you? Your second choice is to make the investment, even if you make a small investment today and go for the payment plan, you're going to get 10 times back. You're going to increase your salary. Just imagine even increasing your salary by 30K, right? 30K is your base salary. God, by the way, your bonus, your performance bonus that all companies do give, especially when you start working in six figures, your bonus is from the base salary. So the higher your base, the higher your bonus is going to be, because the bonus is a percentage of your base salary based on performance. Also making it risk-free. If this doesn't work out for you in 14 days, if whatever reason in 14 days you don't want to be in the program, you can ask for a full refund, no questions asked. So remember, I'm the woman, the #1 at six-figure job offer expert. That's what I'm known for. I'm an expert. I'm also named top 15 LinkedIn expert, and I'm named top job search voice on LinkedIn. So I'm going to drop the link if my team hasn't already dropped it. I'm going to drop the link in the chat, and I want you to sign up today and grab this special offer at a huge discounted price before the price goes up. So you have 48 hours, guys, to grab this before the price goes up. Okay. Now, I have a lot of testimonials, videos, they're on the website as well, but this offer, I'm showing you proof of my clients with screenshots. A lot of my clients have even 50 to 60% increased their salaries, and they're working at top companies. Top companies. So open up your favorite browser on your computer right now, whether it's Internet Explorer, Chrome, or whatever. And I want you to type the link, the URL linked that's on the screen right now. And when you go to there, I want you to fill out the information and sign up. This is going to change your life just like it's changed for my clients. But this offer of the special price is only available for the next 48 hours for you who have attended the webinar. Okay, let's open the floor for questions. I know this might be rude to ask, and I apologize for that, but I'm being honest about what I'm thinking, and I believe everyone will have the same question. What is the guarantee? Okay, so I have answered the question. Sumesh, let me know if any questions, if they didn't answer. I'm gonna promote everybody to speak now. Maybe make life easy, but I would like to invite Sonia or Luluwa if they have anything further to add to today's session.
Sure, actually, I will speak a little. I actually took Gurpreet's program, fun fact. When I came to Toronto, I want to say about 4 years ago, and I had actually had very senior positions, and my resume was very terrible. I thought it was great, and it had, as my partner would describe it, he said it looked like I did stuff. He couldn't tell if I was, at a level of like admin or junior manager And at that point, I was a general manager and I'd held director positions. And by taking Gurpreet's program, not only did I actually end up really upgrading how I position myself in the career world and the professional world, it ended up starting me off on the journey of starting my own company, because that was the key for me to understand what I can bring to the table. So it didn't just help me in terms of how I could land a job. It was a game changer for me in terms of how I saw myself in the world and what value and confidence I brought, and what I saw that I was worth being paid. And after I started my company, this is exactly why now I'm working with Gurpreet on this program, because I really, really see the value of this program. And so, you know, you're getting the testimony of somebody who's really taken this program and experienced the results that come on the other side of it. And the other thing I would say that is very interesting, just in terms of when I think about money and how do we think about money, there's a trying to remember his name right now. It's not coming to me, but I'll drop it in the chat box and you can see it. But there's a very famous entrepreneur who had started several tech companies, and he has created or wrote a book called Get Your Money Back. And in the book, he talks about I think it's the 6 deadly sins that prevent people from making a crazy amount of money. And one of them is someone he coined the saver. And the saver, the way he described the saver, was somebody who would pinch pennies and jump over dollars. And so the idea is somebody who's not willing to invest in that which will make them 10 times the amount of money. And that is such a common human fear. It is what keeps most people at a level of mediocre. And it's very interesting because a lot of people will still continue doing what they do and just kind of say, I can't afford it. I don't want to do it. You know, maybe next time, maybe I can do it on my own. And the reality is the few people who do have the opportunity of getting the 10 times more money than what they paid, because they understand money. They understand the value of money, and they understand what people who make money really understand. And that is the thing that you need to do with the money that you have is you need to invest your money into assets that make you more money. That is what rich people do. And in this moment, you are your greatest asset. So you are the person, the most important thing for you to invest into so that you can make more money.
I love what you said. I think you hit it exactly. What people need to do in order to make money is to invest in themselves. And for those that kept asking the question of what guarantee are you providing, the only guaranteed here is if you're willing to put in the work. If you're not going to be putting in the work, you can take Gurpreet's coaching or anyone's coaching. You're not going to get a 6-figure job. You're not going to land a job that you really want if you're not willing to put in the work and the effort and invest in yourself.
Gurpreet, you're on mute.
Oh, thanks. That's Sonia. She's also a coach. That's my twin sister. Lulua is a former client turned into a friend, turned into a coach that's working with me. So you're not just going to be working with me, you're also going to be working with experts in their designated areas. So regardless of what background you have, this program's going to work for you. I also openly invite you to ask questions. I promoted some of you guys to speak. If you want to, I'm not a big fan of chat, so it's great that chat didn't end up working out today. I love to speak to people, so raise your hand and then I'll be able to promote you to speak. So I want to answer every question you have. I want you to leave this session today feeling not just inspired, but I want you to take action, because honestly speaking, feeling inspired is a good high for what, couple of hours, and then you go back to your tomorrow, you're just going to go back to doing the things you know how to do. This is why a lot of time people don't get results. I see a lot of people messaging me and saying, hey, you know, I did what you told me on the, maybe on your, maybe my audio sessions. But a lot of times you can get the information, but you don't know how to go execute it. And also it's like hiccups come up, right? So me and my team, my coaches are going to be there. We're with you. We're never going to let you give up. That's the whole point of having a coach. They hold you accountable. We have a private LinkedIn group as well. You're going to get a buddy. You're going to meet a lot of great people, but just bigger than that, your life is going to change because the amount of money you're going to be able to make, and it's just going to keep going up. My clients who've worked with me, their lives have transformed. I know, you know, everyone should aspire to be wealthy. You should have the career. This is why in today, I led by showing you the executives at Google and IBM. I didn't cover everybody. I had a whole, like, I have everything down here. I want to show you guys everything. And then I know there's a couple of people that were making smart comments. Oh, I don't want to hear you talk. Just show us the good stuff. The reason the training is designed this way is to show you the whole big picture. What's out there for you? What's possible there for you? It's not out of reach. The only reason it seems like it's out of reach is because you don't know how to get it. And I'm here to help you. This is my entire mission that I started heavily 5 years ago. One of the things that changed in my life is my dad died in 2018. And I've been sitting on this idea. I just want to share some stuff that I didn't get to share today. Was my mission, where it starts from. Oh, Sonia wants to say, so I'll just take a pause for.
Hey, sorry, I just wanted to echo a Lulawa, sorry if I butchered your name. Lulawa said about investing in your Gurpreet's program will be great. I wish I had the opportunity to take it earlier in my career, which I didn't. I'm pretty sure it would have been free since she's my twin sister. But talking about investing in yourself, I will echo that, and I can give you great examples. I've done that every time. Like, I started my career in 2004. I graduated out of Ryerson, and out of my class, I was one of the few very lucky ones that got a job right out of college, university. And that's, even though I'm saying lucky, but it's because I invested time in my resume. At that time, when I say investment, I actually coughed up the money and got someone professionally write my resume. And that has helped me throughout my career. I've only worked for Fortune 500 companies. I'm starting from all the banks in Canada, and I landed also a job in Accenture after I did my MBA. And once again, after doing my MBA, invested in a time to make my resume again professionally made so that I can get a six-figure job right after my MBA program. And so I do echo everything Gurpreet's saying, and Lulawa has said that you have to invest in your time. Resume is the key to first even get someone knocking on your door saying, hey, we're interested in you. If you don't have a well-written resume, it takes 30 seconds for someone to look at your resume and decide if they want to actually go ahead and call you for an interview or not. That's all, Gurpreet. Sorry,
Okay.
didn't mean to cut you off.
No problem. Any questions, guys? Raise your hand if you have a question. I can promote you to speak. Any questions on the training today? I want to take the opportunity to answer all questions. Gurjeet, feel free to unmute your mic.
Yeah, hi Gurpreet.
Hi.
Just a moment. Yeah, so it's a pleasure to meet you for the first time here. So because I'm on your LinkedIn profile for last 5 years since you started.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
my question is for career transitioning. So any suggestions if I jump from one career to another one?
Okay, what do you do right now?
Right now, actually, I'm working in a networking, so I'm planning to jump into data analyst.
Okay. And why? I just want to understand why you want to move from networking to data analyst.
Because there's a better opportunity. I what I believe there's better future in data analysts. Yeah, that's pretty much in demand than networking.
Okay. So can I be 100% honest with you?
Mhm.
If that's your approach, you're always going to be just hopping industries because there's a better opportunity in that one today, right? So trends always change. I like to focus on what, and if you remember the one of the slides in the training today covered, let's identify what are you exceptionally great and what are you great at. So maybe it's networking, maybe it's data, who knows, maybe it's something else. But the first step too is we want to identify, we want to diagnose your entire career first to really understand the depth of what you've done. What are you exceptionally great in doing, the type of problems you are exceptionally good at solving. That would be the right career move. Just blindly shifting careers because that one has better opportunities. You're just then in this ugly pattern of just always constantly just hopping. I call them trends when you're just changing careers because that's the next best trend. Trends change all the time. But your career shouldn't be something that you just change because that's the month of the flavor today. So let me go after that. And then next month is a different flavor and go into that. But what we want to do is career is something you want to be intentional with. It's something you want to also be proud of, and you want to be in a career that you're happy in.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
I do have a lot of interest in database. I do study at home, and yeah, so that's
So
one of my favorite course at university as well.
I would also add then I would reach out to folks that in your network today that are doing this role and set up some time with them and learn from them on what is it that they're doing, what um advice they would share with you of how to make the transition. I would start with that. That's what I've done in the past. So for
Mm.
example, I was a business analyst and I moved to strategy after doing my MBA. You know, one would look at why are you jumping from IT to strategy, right? It was not an easy jump. I actually reached out. I worked for Bank of Montreal at that time. I reached out to folks in Bank of Montreal in my company I was working for in the current strategy role that I was looking for. It's the best thing to do if that's the transition you're looking for. Look for people in your current company who's doing that role and do a coffee session with them, and then they'll give you advice. So, for example, the best advice I was given was I can't jump into right away into strategy. The best for me was because I was in IT to go into the IT strategy and planning
Oh,
department before I jump into the business strategy. So that's the route I did, and it was the best advice I was given, and that's exactly how I did my career path after that. And I did after doing IT strategy, I landed into strategy after for an international banking.
Yeah. So echoing back what Sonia just said, that's the first step is you're currently working, right, Gurjeet?
yeah, I'm working right now.
So if you have an interest in data analyst, I would, would that be the same department or a different department? Is there data analyst roles in your current company?
No, there's no role. Actually, right now I'm working as a freelance work, so uh, that's not pretty much professional work, I can say.
But even in the freelance work you're doing, you're working with companies, right?
Yeah,
Does those companies have data analytical
um,
roles?
no, they don't have any data analyst role.
Okay. If they don't, maybe they need one. There's something to explore
Mhm.
as well. Number two thing you can do is if you want to get some data analytic experience as a data analyst, you can actually go to this website called upwork.com and you can start to build. A lot of times people think that experience is just when someone pays you. By the way, this does pay you. you can go to Upwork and you can also land some projects on the side that are just data analytics. So you can
Okay.
build that portfolio, right? I do recommend people, using Upwork to explore. A lot of times, I have used it a lot to just explore some things to really understand what I'm really good at. I use it as A/B testing as well on things that I'm testing out. Like I've used it 5 years ago to test out my LinkedIn. I've done it for me. Can I do it for other people? So I used it for a lot of A/B testing. And then once I got the proven concept, then I went out and started marketing and charging more money for it. So there's a wealth of opportunities on the platform called Upwork.com. Next thing I would suggest is I would start looking at your entire experience. Even though, because you're a freelancer, you're probably wearing a lot of dual role hats, multiple hats. Just because we don't have a title called data analytics doesn't mean we're not using data to analyze things, to make informed decisions. Since you've taken courses as well, so I would use that as well. I
Okay.
would also look at your entire career. So the first step will be to diagnose your entire career. So those are the first step that I do in my coaching programs. We're going to diagnose your entire career to really understand. If you really want data analysis, then we have to diagnose your entire career and pull out anywhere you've done data.
Okay.
It doesn't matter how small or big it was.
Okay.
I've
That makes
successfully
sense.
helped people transition into different careers and roles without taking a dip in salary.
Mm.
Yeah, and then in addition to what Gurpreet's saying, I think would be like something for career transition. Transition really requires like a one-on-one coaching if you really want to invest the time, because it's very more personal, like understanding where you are today and where to go in the future would require more of a personalized, customized plan to build that out.
Okay, if I
And that
may,
is something we offer too.
I love that. I love that question. And I love your answers. It's very true. Get experience. Any experience is, by the end of the day, you're driving results, and results are what speak for your capability, and definitely speak to people because that helps. So I love everything that was said. I actually transitioned my career quite a number of times. I was working in the human development sector, and then I moved into clean technology sector, and then I moved into the tech sector. So I understand that transitions can be hard for several reasons. A, that you feel like you don't have the experience. B, that the company that's interviewing you, or rather looking at your resume, depending on where you are, may feel you don't have the experience. So a few tips I would give you is, number one, you got to identify what your transferable skills are. What have you done in the past, and what does this role require? And what are the skills that you can actually look at that you have done in the past that now you can apply in this new role or new job or new area that you are looking to get into? That is super key. And yes, you can do it on your own, and you can do it with a coach a whole lot better. I ended up working through that with Gurpreet my second time doing that. My first time was messy. I actually ended up taking a salary dip. The second time, I just didn't have to. But so that's the value of working with a coach. But either way, identify your transferable skills and really look into what have you achieved in that. Use Gurpreet's formula of what were the results you drove, what were the benefits that you added, what was the cost that you saved, what was the problem that you solved in the current situation that you're in, and in the future situation or company that you want to work in, and where do these things bridge. Number two, I would say look into one thing about transitions is that you don't understand the language of the industry you're walking into or the role you're walking into. So attend podcasts, listen to people talk about that particular industry so that you understand the language they use, right? I was, for example, working in something called Nexus. Everybody thought it was like the US Canadian border card. Nobody understood what I was talking about. But when I actually understood for one of the large companies that I'm working for right now for an assignment, that oh, what transfers here is I have worked in complex cross-functional teams with a core team of 4 people and a cross-functional team of over 100 people in multiple organizations. That is what they wanted to hear. They didn't care about Nexus, but they cared that that part from Nexus, the experience that it gave me that thing. I had to understand the language of that industry and that job that I'm going into so that I can translate what I am doing. So anything that can get you to understand the language of the industry and the position that you're going into so that you can translate your experience in the words they use is extremely critical.
Okay, so I hope that helps you, Gurjeet.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you for your suggestions.
Zoba? Or is it Zuba? If anybody has questions, please just raise your hand and then we can give you access to speak. I'd rather have you guys just talk to us versus the Q&A. Zoba, you have to unmute to speak.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. And I want to thank you about this opportunity and about this webinar. Actually, my question is about the newcomer. Since I'm a future newcomer into Canada, I want to know if this program, six figures program, will work out with the newcomers. I'd like to anticipate a little bit. I'm sure that this program will work out, okay? But I mean that is there any attention to make a softened program for the newcomers?
Yes. So to answer your question, this program does work for newcomers to Canada. I have had newcomers to Canada be part of our coaching program, successfully landed 6-figure job offers as new immigrants to Canada.
Okay. Thank you for answering my question.
So I've helped a lot of newcomers in Canada not take up survivor jobs or take up entry-level jobs. The challenge newcomers to Canada face is the no Canadian experience barrier. I teach you how to overcome that and how to position yourself in the Canadian market by leveraging the experience you have from a different country as an asset, and how to win the hiring manager over to land the interview, not only just land interviews, but to land job offers. So yes, in short, the program does work for newcomers as well.
Okay, so it's not a softened version of 6 figures program. It means
Sorry?
it's a 6 figure program. It's
Sorry,
not another version.
Sorry?
It's not another version of the 6 figures program.
No, it's not another version. It's the same program, but on the coaching calls, everything gets customized to each person. So the program is very customizable, meaning the core foundation, the core teachings are put into video format, so it works with everyone's schedule. And then on the coaching calls is where everything gets customized to each individuals. The coaching calls are group calls, but you get personalized attention on the calls as well. So the program is very customizable to everyone's situations.
Thank you very much. If you permit me, I want just to summarize what you said about in the webinar. If I understood very well, I think that we have bad habits and we should focus on that and change that and change this bad behavior in order to advance in our career. Do you think so?
It's one aspect of it, right? And it's way more than just bad habits. It's, we're prone to, I just don't want someone to sit on the webinar and then don't do any action. That's normally what happens to people, is that you can get all the information. That's why it's saying, like, you can get all the information in this world. We're still not going to be able to successfully get the results you want, right? Because really quickly, it's really like if you've already had bad habits developed in terms of how you do your resume, how you go about your job search, it's going to be really hard to break that without someone showing you a better way to do it, right? And much more than that, my goal and my mission is to help people make more money in their career. I work in HR, and I can tell you firsthand how many people don't realize that they're getting paid less because the money you asked for, you thought the company had X budget, you just asked for that. In your case, as a newcomer to Canada, you're going to keep hearing you don't have Canadian experience. And what's going to happen is every time we get rejected and we keep getting rejected, every time our confidence takes a hit, every time our self-esteem is taking a hit. So what's going to happen is every rejection creates an emotion in us, and it's the negative emotion. What's going to happen is each rejection then makes us feel that we're lacking something. It's going to decrease our confidence. It's going to create a lot of doubts in us. And then what ends up happening from that emotion, we start to make different choices, and the choice is never the good one. We're always going to end up, then we start to take lower paying roles. We think that's all we deserve. And that's a bad spiral to get into, right? And I'm on a mission to help you and everyone make more money in their career. And I've been doing it successfully for 5+ years with this coaching program. This coaching program I've been running for 5+ years. And everyone that's worked with me has unbelievably increased their salaries by a huge amount. I know that I use the word unbelievably because I know when I show those screenshots to people, a lot of people think it's not true or they don't believe it, but it's true. You can go look at my LinkedIn. I have so many recommendations. Feel free to reach out to those people. But I can tell you, I can help you make more money and land a very comparable job that you have in your home country and the same one here in Canada or even better. I've done it successfully over and over in the last 5 years.
Okay, thank you. I have a last question.
Sure.
When you answered the question about the certification, you said that it's false. You don't need certifications. You know that you don't need to make other certifications. Did you mean that the newcomers also, or it's just the newcomers should have other certifications?
Sorry, your voice is cutting in and out, so I didn't really understand the question. Are you talking about should newcomers get another certification?
Yeah, we have our diploma.
You don't, even as a newcomer to Canada, you don't need to go get additional Canadian certifications just to land a job. You're still gonna, a common classic mistake. I like this question you asked. The reason I love this question is because common mistake a lot of people make in job searching is when they can't land the job they want and you keep getting rejected, you're automatically going to this, automatically you think you're lacking something. So you start to go upskill and you start to invest in getting more certifications, more credentials, and you go get that. And then you invest the time and the money. And then once you get it, you're still in the same boat. You're still going to get the same objection. So what we want to do is we want to adjust the objection. And the best way to adjust the objection isn't to go get another certification, is to actually adjust the root cause. When you go get another certification, you're just putting bandage on it. You're not really fixing the root cause. So what I help you do is we're going to fix the root cause by actually identifying, we're going to flip the script and we want to identify what are you an expert in, the type of problems you can solve. Every person makes more money for the results you get. The key is identify that and then let's turn it into dollar amount. Businesses understands only one language, it's the money language. So we want to start speaking business language. We want to speak in the hiring manager's language, the executive's language. And that's where the switch is going to happen. And it's why my clients make more money, is because that's what I'm teaching. I'm bridging a gap here. Schools, you can get all the credentials in the world, but schools, institutes do not teach you how to sell, how to market, and how to speak in those interviews. They don't teach us that. That's what I'm teaching. I'm teaching that gap between your education and the experience you have, and I'm teaching you that middle ground that you need in order to be successful in your careers. Not just today, you're going to be successful even in the future as well.
Thank you very much. You also can have a nice end of day, and happy to be with you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? You can drop them in the Q&A or just raise your hand. Sumesh, I prefer people speaking to me, to be honest.
Yeah. Hi, am I audible?
Yep.
Yeah. So you mentioned about 48 hours of coaching sessions you'll be providing. Can you please elaborate on that? Like how things gonna be, like how much, like in week, how many hours we are going to meet, or what's your that?
So there are 12 coaching calls, 12 weekly. There are 12 weekly coaching calls, meaning there's 12 coaching calls once a week. So that in total you get 12 coaching calls in the 90 days, once a week. So it makes that 12 coaching calls. These coaching calls are every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. This is where I personally, or the coach you're assigned to work with, personally helps you. So there's 2 layers to this program. One, all the core teaching methods trainings are all put into video format. Each week you will get work to sign. For example, the PCS formula that I just went over, I actually go into a much more deeper teaching, and you get a workbook to complete. Once you complete that, you bring it to the call. I'll be able, or the coach you're working with will review it and then be able to actually identify what you're an expert in. That's the first step, right? Once we can identify what you're an expert in, the resume I showed on the screen when I was teaching, that resume only looks like that because of the legwork that I did with me and my client did together. It took him 2 weeks to, I looked at his PCSR workbook. And then I was able to, once he did the workbook he had like 15 plus years experience. Then I was able, once I read everything, then I was able to, I'm like, hey, your biggest strength is that you can generate, he's in sales. So his biggest strength was that he can actually generate additional revenues from existing products or services. And then he had a blueprint on how he did it. So blueprint meaning the steps he took, and then I turned it into blueprint. One of my other clients who's currently I'm working with, he's a project manager, and he's an expert in helping companies deliver projects. And once he did the PCS workbook, the formula comes with the workbook when you get in the program. I was able to identify what he's actually an expert in when it comes to projects. We don't say our job titles as our expertise. We don't say I'm a project manager, right? Or I'm a project expert. We want to actually define the expertise deeper than just that genericness, right? So he's an expert in overrun cost of projects to make sure that they don't go over, and he has an actual format, a structure, or I call it the blueprint, the way he does it. So his blueprint, actually, his method in project manager helps companies reduce their cost and not go over. So the PCR is the formula that we're going to use. So the coaching calls are paired with it. We also have a private group on LinkedIn where there's current and past students. We use that as like a mastermind support group where you can throw all your questions. You can get people to endorse you. You can also get people to review your resume, give your feedback. But on the coaching calls is where I review everything. I diagnose everything on the calls. We write any revisions of your resumes. I help you do it on the call. So those calls are group calls. They happen every Tuesday.
Okay,
Does
so
that answer your question?
those coaching calls are group calls?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And yeah,
But
okay.
everybody gets that one-on-one time with me. Also, everyone that's taken the program in the group setting has said that they greatly benefited from those group calls because they also got to listen into other people's when I was reviewing other people's work or answering other people's questions. They learned a lot because each person has a different situation and they're in from different experience, but everybody benefits when I'm coaching someone.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. Is you mentioned about the workbook you were talking. So I
That's
just
just
have,
one. There's many workbooks in the program that goes
yeah,
with
okay.
the modules. Yeah.
Okay, so that like those workbook works with every sector of people who are
Mm-hmm,
okay,
mm-hmm.
okay, okay.
Yeah. I've also given some examples in the workbook for different sectors. So it works for the program is designed. My teachings are universal. So they work for doesn't matter what background you're in or what industry you're in.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What I would add to
That's like not even relevant. Yes, go for it, Luluva.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say what I would add to that is by, taking the program with Gurpreet and now teaching the program, there are two components. One is that the program itself gives you a blueprint that is sector or industry or position agnostic. So it applies to whatever industry, whatever sector, whatever place you're coming from. However, the coaching she gives you or the coaching I would give you or the coaching Sonia would give you is extremely customized. So that would be where that level of customization of like, what is your industry? Where are you coming from? Where are you in your career? What is the context of your situation? What is the context of your experience? What is the challenge you are facing right now? Becomes relevant, becomes very, very relevant. And this is where, that added level of, if you will, customization comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Any other question?
Yeah, that's all with me.
Okay. Any other questions anybody has? Feel free to raise your hand. Okay, this time when we apply for a job through LinkedIn, it shows us that we are a good fit for the role using the skills we have added. Some jobs have unusual skills, so should we add them to our skill sets? And do that skills really matter? Okay, so this is a really good question. So when you're applying to jobs online, in order to be the one that lands the interview, you do have to have all the skills, to be honest, that the company's looking for. If you don't have the skills the company's looking for, you're not going to land the interviews. Why? Because you're competing. Again, when you're applying to jobs online, you're competing with a lot of people. Companies are only going to interview candidates that they desire, the ones they're looking for. So the key when you're applying to jobs, even if it's LinkedIn, any jobs that are posted, advertised, they're all going to be using a form of ATS. Companies are going to use a form of ATS. So it's really important that we're hitting those keywords. Like when it comes to job postings, you do have to have the skills. You have to make sure your skills are clearly listed in your resume. And then we can't just fill our resumes with a bunch of keywords. That's never going to fix the problem either to land the interviews. See this, a lot of people do this common mistake, so they throw a lot of keywords in their resumes because they're using like job scan, the tools online that are available to help you see how your resume is matching the ATS. But then what people fail to understand is the human being that's going to read your resume. They're not just gonna read keywords, right? So it's really important that we pair our keywords with storytelling. So our resume also I incorporate storytelling, copywriting into writing resumes because because we're writing for a human being, we're not writing it for the machine. So skills do matter and how we write those resumes do matter. And then on LinkedIn, I recently learned from one of my connections is that LinkedIn doesn't really give you a clear indication of how many people have applied. So she had a job posting she was recruiting for, and LinkedIn said like 100 and something people applied, but in her ATS, it was only like 30 people. So don't always believe the machines, guys. Like technology isn't always perfect. So there's a glitch in LinkedIn and the company's ATS. From my understanding is that when you click on LinkedIn, it's just counting anybody that clicked, even if you didn't apply for the job, it's just counting all that. So I hope that answers that question. The chat is disabled. Okay. How to understand a company's challenge if not from the website? So how do you understand the company's challenges? This is where you do have to do a deep dive research. This is where you used, I can teach you how to actually find research. I do teach this in my coaching program on how to identify the company's challenges. There's a couple of stuff that I use to help do this. So there is a deeper way to research. The key is to research the company way beyond the website. The company's website's never going to tell you what their challenges are. Okay, what else could be the best subject and body for the email? The best subject and the body of the email, again, this is a great question. Now, I don't have a list of great subject lines. I like to customize the subject lines and the body based on what the research. So whatever the research fact finding we find, and then that's what we're going to use to able to then craft the personal messages. The key here isn't copy paste. The key is to really personalize the message. So I can only help you write a great subject line in the body email once we have done the research. If the decision maker is not hiring manager, then who and how can we find that? If the decision maker is not, decision maker is always the hiring manager. That's what hiring managers refer to. So the term hiring manager is the one who has the power to make hiring decisions. That's what hiring manager is. Can you share any sample of a good cover letter if possible? So now a sample of a cover letter, I actually do provide it in the program. I provide a sample in a template of cover letter, but I'm really big on customization. I give a template for the wordings and stuff like that, but we really focus on customization here. If you really want to land six-figure job offers, no sample of cover letters. You got to get out of the bad habit that everyone's developed because of the internet, the online world, is those samples and the templates, and people are just downloading them. I know you can get them for free, but the thing is, then you sound very generic and you just sound like copy paste, right? You don't want to sound generic. You don't want to sound like a copy paste. And honestly, the person knows you just took this copy paste template, because I could tell you, as somebody who's been doing this work for 20 years, recruiting, trust me, we can see a template used, a copy paste. It sounds really generic and fluffy, and there's no substance to it. It's not really personalized, and you're trying too hard to please somebody. The key is to be authentic. I know the word's heavily used loosely, but authenticity really matters, and the key to your success is being authentic. You can't stand out in this competitive job market that we're in today by just copying pasting. So I hope that answers that question. Based on different JD requirements, are we required to be tweaking our LinkedIn profile? I love this question. Skill sets every time. No, you don't tweak your LinkedIn. It's really impossible to be tweaking your LinkedIn to every job posting you're applying to. So LinkedIn is your website. That's how I see it as. And your resume is your marketing document that gets customized to the one job. Our LinkedIn is like a website. So companies don't customize their websites for every little target base. And that's why each of their products will have their own landing pages and target something else. So your resume is like that landing page that gets customized, but your LinkedIn profiles needs to target the role you want. So we build LinkedIn to target the role you want, target the companies you want, but our resumes, but our LinkedIn profile cannot be customized to each one. Like that's not the purpose of LinkedIn. So each document and each like LinkedIn profile and resume are two separate things, and we treat them two separately. If we apply for GTA location and if based out of, okay, Marie's Ontario, does they really matter? Yes. That's a really good question. So if you're in a different city, applying to a different city, and there's a huge distance between these two cities, the key will be to change your LinkedIn profile to the Greater Toronto area. Or if this, and this answers for everybody, like you also want to pick the big city that you're next to for your LinkedIn profile. It opens the wider reach for you on LinkedIn. Are we supposed to be mentioning the city where we live in our profiles? I wouldn't mention the city you live in your LinkedIn profiles. I would pick the greater, like for you, I don't know who asked this question because it just says anonymously attending. But I would pick the Greater Toronto area since you're picking the Greater Toronto. Always use the greater selection. So like if you're in like Greater Toronto area, or let's say you are in for example, if you live in California and maybe you live in close to LA, pick greater LA area. If it's San Francisco, pick that, greater San Francisco area, and so on. So you always want to use that. Okay. Okay, I think I answered all the questions that were in the Q&A box. Anybody that's still on the call has questions? Do you have questions about the program? I'm here to answer any questions. I'm going to ask a really bold question. What's stopping you to sign up today to the six-figure coaching program? If you're still on the call, that means that you're either interested in joining the program, you are keen on making some changes in your career, you do have an interest in making more money. I know everybody desires to make more money. Desiring and wanting are two different things. We can't make that happen if we don't know exactly how to do it. And with the right strategy, it can speed up your results. And I can make that happen in 90 days. So any questions? It's 9:30. I'm happy to answer all questions. I'm happy to help you make the right decision for you to decide if the program's for you or not. How many people are interested in joining the program? If you can raise your hand. If you're thinking about joining the program.
I just have one question. What's the deal with personal coaching? Like I know you're offering like group coaching sessions. What if I want to opt for like personal coaching or something like that?
So you can upgrade and to the VIP package. So I charge to work with me on one-on-one, I charge 20K for 3 months.
Okay.
So there is an option to work one-on-one. It's 20K, or you can do the group. I do try to get people to come. I always recommend coming to the group first. But there are times where people want to work with one-on-one. Like I do a lot of the VP level clients I work with them one-on-one.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, but there's an option to work with me one-on-one. So remember, guys, the offer that I presented today is only valid for 48 hours. My team's gonna put the timer on the website, the link you have 48 hours to jump on and save $2,000 by getting the offer for $5,500. 48 hours, so that'll be like on today's June 26th, 27th. By June 28th, the price, then you're gonna, if you want to join after the 48 hours, you're gonna pay the regular price of $7,500. So it's a steal deal to get it today within the next 48 hours. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer all your questions. What about the VIP session after the session? the VIP session is happening right now. Like I'm answering people's questions. The VIP session was designed to answer Q&A questions. If there are any particular questions you have, feel free to ask. I don't know what that's those. Okay, any questions that I can answer?
Is the discount you're offering for will be the same for like for the monthly installments as well? Or?
Yeah, so if that's the price I showed today, the 5,500, is also even if you do the payment plan. If you pay upfront, actually you save additional 500.
Okay.
That's how it's set up. If you opt out for the payment plan, then it's based for the original the price of 5,500. But after 48 hours, then it goes back to the original price. So just use the link I sent you guys because that's where you get the offer, but then the price will jump. Well, you only have 48 hours to get it to that savings of $2,000. I've never given the saving ever before. I don't get discounts. This is the first time I'm giving it, so you do definitely want to jump on it.
Okay.
You have the link to sign up.
Yes, I do have the link.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Like sometimes there's some jobs say the fully remote jobs, right?
Mhm.
So does the jobs belong to only that city or that area, or that's for everybody, like from anywhere?
It depends on the company, to be honest. So there's no clear answer to that. You got to read the job posting to understand the details. Like a lot of job postings will say remote, but you have to be living in that city. That means that there are probably some requirements of being in the office, then it's really not 100% remote. I can't really answer that question without knowing the full details. So my best, I'm gonna go with the safe answer is you gotta read the job posting, and then if you do land the interview, then get asked that question in the interview.
Okay.
But if it doesn't say any location, like a lot of companies can say remote, but you have to be based out of US. Unless it's a US company and it's remote, so you can be based out of anywhere in US. A lot of times that's also like the requirement based on legal requirements, right?
Okay.
So there's a lot of nuance in the back end, but the clear answer here would be to ask the company what they mean. I don't know what they mean. Okay, anybody else? If you're still here on the call, I know there's a reason why you're still here, so feel free to unmute, speak, raise your hand, answer. I'm here to answer your questions. If you want to join the program, but something's stopping you, I'm still here to have a conversation with me. There's no pressure for anybody to join, but I'm here. Oh, my recruiter friend couldn't make it. Actually, he might be able to come on. Also, you get access to like everything I'm offering in the program. It's not available anywhere else. This is an exclusive offer. So if you sign up, you're going to get a lot of bonuses that I mentioned, almost like 12 bonuses you're getting for free. Anna, any question? Hardeep, Holiday, Sahil, there's 2 Sahils. Somia, Swati, Taruna. You guys have any questions? I didn't even look at YouTube. Any questions? Pradeep? Hardeep, you have to unmute to speak. Oh, I didn't give you access. Sorry, I'm giving you access to speak. Okay, Hardeep? You have to unmute to speak, Hardeep.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. I was, to be honest, I have a lot of questions. You guys are
Yeah,
really
no.
awesome. I have seen your interviews previous as well. I followed you from a long time.
Okay.
You touched base all the scenarios and everything. So my question is, to be honest, on the amount that you are giving us on the discount on.
Mm-hmm.
That to be honest, I'm here from last 2 years now, struggling with the jobs. Didn't get any job. Started with the sales. Left the job. Now I'm doing Uber, and I'm the single person earning. My annual kind of is 40K, and I couldn't able to pay you 5,500. To be honest, I want to opt for this course as well. Background is kind of I'm project manager in India and approximate 15 years of plus experience. Worked with Rogers, Fido, a couple of US companies, but still struggling with the job. So I don't know what to do. Stuck,
Okay. What's
be
the
honest.
question here?
Upfront. So not able to pay upfront money 5,500 as of now.
There's a payment plan that you can opt out for. Does the payment plan work for you?
Sorry, I missed that part. Because I'm driving, so it breaks your voice. So can you please repeat that?
So I offer a payment plan. You can
Yeah.
split the 5,500 over 4 months.
Over 4 months, because
Yeah.
it's 3 months plan, right? So that's why I was
It's the program is 3 months, but the payment plan I offer is 4 months.
4 months.
You can, yeah, you can,
Right.
it works out to be $1,375 per month. So you can actually join the program today by just putting down 1,375. And then next month, the payment will come out the same amount. So it's split over 4 months of 4 equal payments.
Okay.
I've had people making way less money than you join the program.
The thing is that I'm a single earning in my
And
family.
so is my client that's in the current program. He's actually the single earner. He has a young family and a child, and right now he's making minimum wage, and he's already landing interviews for 150K roles. The program does pay for itself. I know it looks like a big investment, or you may be. Here's what I would say: you're focusing on the wrong thing. I understand the money, but when we start to focus on the results that you're gonna get, temporarily you're making 40K, right? How many years experience you have?
It's more than 15 years now.
So, and you're in project manager, right? You have over 15 years experience and you're making 40K only.
So, yeah. So
and the last 2 years, you've been struggling to make the money you should be making, right? So it's clear that on your own, you can't get to the salary you should be at.
Yeah.
So that's 2 years of lost income. So let's say let's say 15 years, it's project manager, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we take the project manager, let's say on average salary is like 150K. Let's go with the safe side, right? With 15 years. That's almost 110K salary you've lost out in 2 years.
Yeah. To be honest, I know the calculations and everything. I know what it is. 2 year I wasted, to be honest. I wasted my, because I have to earn and I have to feed my family. So I'm just focusing to earn money, not focusing on myself to boost my skills and everything.
So what? I didn't catch that.
So you're right. I should focus on boost my skills and everything. Yeah. So I'm thinking about it. So you said you can
2
split it.
years, you know, like you sat on it for 2 years. You couldn't, and you said you've been following me for a long time. So just imagine if you jumped on it many years ago or even 6 months ago, you were already be in a 150K role by now. The more time you invest on trying to figure it on your own, the more money you keep losing, right? The faster
Yeah.
we get you in the 150K role, the faster you're gonna, you know, the investment looks like a lot of money. I agree, but let me break it down to you. It's that temporary, like it looks big, but at first it sounds to everybody they can't afford it. But I can tell you, everyone that's been in the program, nobody ever once has thought about the money they're paying for it, because they see the work we're doing, the confidence is increasing, how their things on their profiles changing, recruiters are reaching out. Everybody's just gets so emotionally caught up in the things that are moving for them that weren't happening before. The quality of the roles that are coming in through them, the interviews, the quality of the employers they're going on, it's a huge shift. And after that, nobody ever, I can be honest with you and say that no one in my program ever, once they got in, has ever said this is too much. They've all said that you need to charge more. I've never had even one single clients of mine said that this is a lot of money. Even when they said it was a lot of money first, but when they came into the program and see the work we're doing and the changes and the transformation that they're going through, the interviews they're going on, it's way outweighs that, right? But also what I'm teaching, you will have access to the program for life, meaning the teachings, the modules. You're going to keep using the program over and over. My clients have, like Lulua was here earlier. She actually took my program 3-4 years ago. She keeps using the teachings over and over. And now she's a coach in it. So just like how we invest in our education, like bachelor degrees or MBAs, you know, we do it because we want to make more money in our career, right?
Yes.
But this is just like that. This is a skill you also need to get you more money.
Yep, you're right. So just one more question. So I've done project management. So do I need to work on the certification as well for PMP? Because I've done training for PMPs. It's been because they need PDUs to sit into the exam.
I would say let's get you in the right salary job first. And then if you want to get any certifications, companies provide that as professional development, and let's use the company's money to get you any professional development. We shouldn't be spending any money after we got our own undergrads or MBAs, but like even MBAs, by the way, companies pay for it. You got to build a case and so on. Great companies pay a lot of money in professional development. Smart would be to use the company's money to fund your development. I work in HR. That's why I'm sharing this. I'm a very strategic person. The more you spend time with me, the more you're going to realize I'm very strategic and very strategy oriented. Also, I'm leveraged. Why? Because I work in HR. I'm in those closed door meetings that none of you guys are part of. Even employees working in the companies are not part of it. But companies actually have budgets to invest in their employees, because that's a retention strategy. We use retention strategies to keep employees. Every company wants to hold on to great employees. That's why they reinvest in their talent. And we want to leverage that. So I wouldn't suggest go get a certification PMP, because in 2 years, if you haven't got the project manager role, that certification is not going to help you get it any faster, to be honest. Let's fix the core problem, the root cause of why you're not getting the 150K, and let's get you in the 6-figure job first, and then go get any certification you want.
Sure, makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. Any other question?
No, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Holiday?
Gurpreet, thank you for all your time that you've invested this evening. It's
You're
been a
welcome.
valuable session. Just a quick question with the resume, because that's where I think I'm struggling the most. Do you
Mhm.
actually help with some of the writing? And
Yeah,
what
on the coaching calls in the program, yes, I do.
Okay. Because I think what I fear is that some parts of my past experience, I just don't have those quantifiable results or data points that I know that are needed. So is that
I help
something
you
that,
quantify that. I help you quantify wherever we can quantify. This is a PCS formula actually helps to quantify things as well.
okay, that was
Yeah.
my only question. Thank you.
You're welcome. But yes, I do help with quantifying things, rewriting, rewording on resumes. You do, full disclaimer, you do all the heavy lifting based on the teachings in the program, the workbooks that go with it. You bring your whatever you work on, let's say your resume, whatever you bring to me, I make it look 10 times better. So I showed you guys on the, I don't know if you guys remember the slide, for example. Let me pull it up. That resume I showed you is what actually I crafted with my client. I was working with this client one-on-one. So this is he actually wrote whatever he did. This is my version. Like, so I 10 times that made it look better with the wordings and all that stuff. Oops. Then he came up with. So this client did in my program, she came up with this, and then this is what I came up with. The wordings, the whole design, everything, I did it. So we do it, I do hands-on stuff in the call. I'm really good in designing, so I'm really good in everything. I'm in the program, I'm the expert. So you bring the framework, the basics, like you bring me the work, I'm gonna make it look 10 times better than what you have. I'll work with you to make it look better. So
That's
just to
helpful.
this is what I do. Yeah, I don't expect, you're not expected to have everything perfect. That's where I come in. Or the coach you're working with, like me and my coaches, my team will come in and we make everything look better. And,
Okay.
and the key is I'm doing it with you. So I'm explaining it, why I'm doing it this way, why we're wording it this way, because in the end of the day, when you go on those interviews, you have to know the depth of why the way we wrote it, because in the interviews, you're going to be communicating in a different way, right? So anything I change for you, or whatever we work on, that's why I love those coaching calls, because they're hands-on, and I also get to explain why it needs to be said this way, and why we're using this language and so on. Because in the end of the day, you're the one that's going to be in front of the recruiter or the hiring manager. I won't be there with you, right? So I like to explain everything in depth on why the wording is this way, why are we saying it this way, why we need to position it this way, so that when you go to the interviews, you know exactly how to communicate the things on your resume too, right? A lot of times, I've seen like a lot of times a lot of times I know we want to get our resumes and we want to line interviews. As somebody who's reading resumes, it's really disappointing to come across a great resume, a great candidate on paper, but then they don't sound the same on the phone. That's why I'm a firm believer that you need to write your own resume. At least it needs to be written in your voice, so that, because in the interviews, you'll be able to communicate it in the same manner. So I don't want that disconnect. As somebody who does the interviews, it's always disappointing when the candidate doesn't live up to the hype of their resume.
Mm.
So I like to do not just have a great resume, I also make you into a great interviewer. We need both. Can't have one or the other. We need both. We need a resume, great resume. We also need to be great at interviews as well. Yeah. Any other question, Holiday?
No, that was it. I just, the resume portion is a big thing for me because I invested early on with someone to professionally help write my resume, and it just didn't produce the results that I needed. So I think that's something that's really important to me in making sure that, I'm going to end up with a product that, will really generate the results that are needed.
You're going to, I can guarantee you one thing, working with me, not only are you going to have a great resume, you're going to have a great LinkedIn, but you're going to get interviews, and then we're going to convert those interviews into job offers. As somebody who's been doing this work for 20 years, I know a lot of times we only can think about resumes when you can land interviews. I always, because I've been doing this work, I can see a lot of moving parts that you can't see right now. One of the biggest connections I've seen is if you can land interviews, I also seen a direct link is if you can land interviews, and if you did land in interviews, you won't be able to clear them. Because the communication is the most key here, right? If you do not effectively communicate on your resumes to land the interviews, you're also going to struggle in the interviews. A lot of times people can't connect the dots, but I can, because I can see everything, right? Because I work in this space, so I can see everything. How, if you can't land the interviews, I can guarantee you, even if you did land the interview, you won't land the offer. You won't be able to clear it, at least not even get the amount you want or you deserve. There's always a direct link. So that's why for me, it's not just only have a good resume. We need to have every moving part to be successful to land the offer. So if you look at everything I do, my positioning is always, let's land the offer. I'm not saying have a great resume. I'm not saying have a great LinkedIn profile. I'm saying we need all this to land the offer, right? We need the LinkedIn, we need the resumes. We also need to know how to clear interviews so that we don't sound robotic, we don't sound fluff, we don't sound generic, we don't sound boring in the interviews as well. Like interviews, resume is important, equally as important as to clear those interviews to land offers. So I'm going to help you with all the moving parts in the hiring process to help you land, so that you land the offer. But just not any offer, right? We want the higher composition package.
Sure. Thank you.
And negotiations is the key after that. So yeah. Any other questions? I know Sumesh has a hand up.
Yeah. So, after how many sessions are we going to, apply for jobs or looking for jobs with the updated resume or cover letter or the LinkedIn profile?
Sorry, what? Can you repeat that?
Yeah, after how many sessions are we like looking for to apply for like new jobs with the new resume or LinkedIn profile or cover letter?
After how many sessions? Honestly, it just depends on how when you have your resume done. I've had someone who has done their resume and LinkedIn profile in 1 week straight.
Okay.
In 1 week, right?
Mhm.
Also, like everyone's life, it all depends. Are you working? Are you not working? How much time you can dedicate? So I've had people start landing interviews within the second week of the program. So the speed is different for everybody, to be honest.
Okay. Thank you.
So it all comes down to how fast you want to. I don't focus on speed, I focus on quality. Also, it also kind of goes down to how much time you can dedicate, right? If you're not working, you can obviously dedicate more time than somebody who's working.
Yep. Thank you.
But that's where the buffer comes in, right? Like the 12
Mhm.
weeks. The 90 days equals 12 weeks. So there's a buffer period.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I see Sahil still here. The two Sahils, Somia, Taruna. You guys haven't, like, you're still here, so you might as well come up and introduce yourself. You've been here We've been together almost 3 hours now. Don't be shy. Any questions, Guy? Do you have any questions about joining the program? The special offers for 48 hours, you can get to save $2,000. And if you join after 48 hours is up, then you'll be paying the regular price of $7,500. Any questions? Sahil, I've promoted you to speak, so feel free to speak. Last call, guys. Okay, I've dropped the link. You will also receive an email tomorrow, just a reminder of the 48 hours before the price goes up. There's a link. You will also get the link to watch the replay of the videos. It was streamed live on YouTube. Feel free to get that. We will send that out. The team will send that out as well. So if you don't have any questions, about the program, let me know. Last call if you have any questions about the program. If you're thinking about joining, any hesitations, let me know now. I want to make sure that I'm here to answer all your questions. If there's any questions that come up for you, I'm going to drop my personal email in the chat. If there's any questions that come up after today's session about the program that you want to answer, feel free to shoot me an email. I dropped it in the link. It's Gurpreet Kate_man@gkmcoaching.com, or DM me on LinkedIn if we're connected. Feel free to Adum, as you will hear faster from me on LinkedIn than emails, but I'm still giving you a point of contact. Feel free to send me all the questions you have. I'm happy to answer all the questions that will help you make the right choice and decision for you. But I can guarantee you this one thing from all the clients I've worked with in the last 5 years, all my clients have increased their salaries. And the base is, just imagine making more money than you're making right now. That's your new base. And your bonuses will be from that new base, and then next year and so on. So you not only let's say you increase your salary by 30K annually, that's 30K annually every year that you're making more money than you are today. Every year you're adding 30K more, right? And then your bonuses will be from 30K from that new base. And then every year, 2 years, you should be moving up and making even more money. So program pays for itself. It's short-term results, and there's also long-term results. Like my clients keep using the program over and over and over. Okay, so I'm going to end the call here. Thank you so much for being with me. I look forward to working with you all in the 6-Figure Coaching Program, which kicks off. I forgot to tell you the date it kicks off. We're kicking it off not next week. So the next coaching call will be not next week, because it's July long weekend when both Canada and US. And then after the long weekends are done, we're kicking it off. Okay, so I'll see you guys